I'm gonna take everybody off mute. How's everybody doing?
Hey! Everybody, happy Monday!
Loving it. I'm loving all the energy already. What's up with you guys? Happy Monday. I'm fired up. Yes, I got my glasses on. You know that kid that goes to the store and gets the shoes and wears them out? I was that kid. So I don't even know why I took the old shoes out. I used to take the old shoes, put them in the new box, and carry them out in the new box. I guess I was thinking maybe I had two new shoes, the ones on my feet and the one in the box. Kids do funny things like that. So I'm excited. It's Triple M Monday Morning Motivation. Welcome all. I'm excited for a new week of opportunities. It's officially the last week of March. And you guys are finishing out the first quarter of the year. So I'm fired up because right now it's gas time. Because you know the first quarter of any game usually dictates the direction of the game. You got to win the first quarter. So we're in the last week of the first quarter. So today we're going to be listening to a guy named Worre. If you've been on Triple M, you probably heard from him a few times. He has a company called Network Marketing Professional. I really love his insights. He's a part of the board of the Direct Selling Association. That's like the governing body of all network marketing companies. For a lot of people on here that are Herbalife distributors, network marketing sector of business, and also how to build your business he's going to be sharing. If you're not a distributor, these same tips still go for you. He's going to be talking about how to recruit 8 to 10 people in one day. Now, whether you're a distributor and you're looking to recruit clients to get healthy, distributors to join your business and help people get healthy, or you're just looking to recruit people to live healthy in your family. Maybe you want them to make some changes, or maybe you're trying to recruit people at your job to get on board to a project you're trying to create. Recruiting and influencing is a part of what we do every single day, whether you know it or not. You're recruiting your kid to try to read books or to, brush his teeth. You're recruiting your parents to try to come walk with you or come to the gym with you. So he's going to be sharing today about how he recruit 8 to 10 people in one day. Really is talking about focused influence. So get your notebooks out. We're going to share some nuggets at the end. And I'm excited to hear everybody's takeaways. So without further ado, let's get into Eric Worre, focused intention. Let's get it.
We're talking via Skype, and I wanted him to share some of his ideas. Todd has been a trainer in the profession, very successful in the field and as a trainer. And
you guys here all right?
He's taught and he's practiced this discipline of cold calling, which sounds scary, this cold thing, but cold calling, and he's made a fortune with it, and he's taught other people how to make a lot of money with cold calling. But
you guys can hear all right,
Todd,
right?
First of all, thank you for being on. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. And when would a person want to explore this idea of cold calling? When would this come up in their career path?
Well, I'll give you two answers. Number one, whenever they want to drum up new business, would be the first answer. But secondly, and probably more realistically, once somebody has gone through center of influence to some extent, regardless of how long network marketing has been around, the best place to start really is with people that you know, your center of influence, people that you already have some relationship with. So typically when somebody's going to go venture into the cold market is when they've either exhausted or almost exhausted their center of influence, and they have to look for other avenues to find people.
All right, so if they want to accelerate what they've got going on right now, or two, if they've exhausted their warm market, one way or the other. Either they've gone through them or they've exhausted them. They've worn them out.
Yeah.
Where do you find, when you talk about cold calling a stranger, how do you find people to, who are those people? How do you identify who you're going to call?
Well, I think the subject of cold market prospecting there's not just one way to do it. It could be purchasing leads, opportunity seeker leads. It could be, a strategy that I teach pretty extensively, which is recruiting professionals, going specifically after people up the socioeconomic chain. It could very well be teaching people how to approach and engage individuals in conversations that they meet in, their daily life that they're living. So, and it could go as far as to understanding advertising and copywriting and lead generation that they do on their own, but that's probably a more advanced topic.
Yeah, so talk about this idea of targeting professionals. So you'd pick a particular profession and you'd talk to people inside that profession?
Yeah, what I teach people to do is to go after people that are more likely to be successful in network marketing because of what they already do. So they're essentially individuals that are already doing the things that we do in network marketing. They're selling, they're leading, they're communicating, they're prospecting, they're managing, they're overseeing, but they're doing those activities in a different occupation other than network marketing, which would encompass, realtors would be one of those categories, insurance agents, financial planners, and such.
So yeah, and you could pick the naturals that would be in healthcare, the people who work in health clubs and the personal trainers and the chiropractors and all that stuff, if you're in that category, or if, the professional sales for the technology companies or whatever, but you're looking for kind of an entrepreneurial mindset person. And you can find those online in your local market, or you can network to those, right?
Yeah, you can find them obviously online. The resource there is endless. If you want to build it in your backyard, they're very easy to find locally as well, through different periodicals, magazines, newspapers locally. They're right in front of you. So I mean, they're in your backyard, and yeah.
So one, maybe you've decided, person has decided, you know what, I'm going to engage in this cold calling approach. Two is I'm going to target a specific demographic or a specific psychographic, a type of person. And three, I know you have lots of scripts and you go through specifically word by word and step by step how to talk to different kinds of people. But what tip could you provide people that want to get started with this? I know most of the learning is going to be in the doing. If they pick up the phone, and first of all, you don't have to worry if you screw up, because it's not like it's going to be talked about around the dinner table. If you mess up, and you learn from it and you move on. But when somebody's going to pick up the phone and start making some calls, what tips would you provide to those people as they're getting started?
Well, I mean, you just brought one up, and that is following a script. And one of the challenges for people in network marketing when they first get started and as they continue is, okay, I see this, it makes sense. Who do I talk to and what do I say? So that's why when you get started, okay, write down your warm market list, and here's your first warm market script. So following a script and following someone who has a proven method of approaching individuals is really, really important. So if somebody's going to get into whatever method of cold marketing that they're doing, is to find somebody who has a really good approach or a peak interest question, a way of doing things, and following that. I would never suggest, hey, go call realtors and not have any kind of framework with which to work with. That's a recipe for disaster. So having somebody, giving somebody a script, the exact words to use, and then maybe working with them and having them practice that script a few times so it becomes conversational is going to make the actual phone call way, way easier. So doing it on your own without a script is a nightmare. So having something in front of you that you can follow is a critical tip to ensuring your success in the cold market.
Do you have any free scripts that people could download or anything to get started?
Yeah, I do. I actually have, if it's on a website, it's called my goto script. It's the most widely used script in my training arsenal. They can go grab it. It's pretty sure you're catching me off guard.
We can throw a link underneath this, so I'll grab it. What's it called again?
It's called my go-to script, and the domain actually it's littleblackbookofscripts.com.
Okay.
And if they put their name and email address, they'll get the script instantly. And then on top of that, there's a video training behind it. So I spend 20 minutes with you on the script, going through it with you, reading it, showing you where to pause, how to read the script, and how to use it.
Oh, great. Well, I mean, I think all of this is helpful. One, when you're going to think about doing it. Two, as far as cold calling. Two, how to target some people. And three, approaching it with a script type of an approach. And thank you for providing that to the audience, and we'll get that link out so everybody can get it. You're going to be speaking, one of the speakers at this epic event that's going to be happening May 17th through the 20th in Las Vegas. First of all, can you just tell people how extraordinary this lineup is of speakers that is going to be there?
Well, I mean, if you look at the list and if you visit the website, it's pretty obvious how extraordinary it is. But for me, as a speaker, I'm also going to be an attendee. I mean, I've seen the list. I know who's on the roster that you've been able to put together. It's truly insane roster. And obviously, because of your many, many years in network marketing, you're able to grab some of the best of the best. If there's somebody who's watching the video right now and they have a desire to get good in the cold market, which this event is totally focused on it, you'd be nuts to miss it, because the lineup with the different areas of focus that you've been able to put together is truly insane. Everything from online marketing to everything you could possibly do offline is just awesome. So when I'm not speaking, I'll be taking notes in the audience myself. I'm fired up.
Tell people real briefly what you're going to be teaching during your session.
Most of my session is going to be focused on helping people gain self-confidence related to talking to people in the cold market, so that when you're making the phone calls, all the shivers and the shakes and the nervousness goes away, so that your prospect doesn't pick up on that, so that when you're picking up the phone, engaging individuals in conversation, you're coming across as a very confident person who really is in control of what they're doing, rather than doing what a lot of people do, unfortunately, which is literally shaking in their boots and, almost to the point of so much nervousness that they're stuttering and can't even carry on a conversation. There's some very specific techniques I'll be teaching that will enable you to quickly develop a level of self-confidence when you pick up the phone, so that you're more effective when you're doing so.
Awesome. And let me ask you, you're a pro at this. If you wanted to, and you started, and there was a 24-hour period of time, and you just said, you know what, and no preparation other than ready, go, and you started making cold calls, how many people do you think you could recruit and where they made the decision and said yes in a 24-hour period of time, any 24-hour period of time?
If I had all those hours to do it and I was laser focused, and I could probably recruit 8 to 10 people in a 24-hour period. I mean, if you think about it, that's being totally focused and investing all of that time engaging. Yeah, for sure.
All right, 8 to 10 people. So, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, if that skill set would be good for you, any day you chose, instead of waiting for those people who are thinking about getting ready to get started, you can just get on the phone and go bring in 8 or 10 and then tell the story of the 8 or 10 that just joined to the people who are thinking about it. So that's the kind of control that we want to give you, the person in the audience, or the person in the profession, the person that's watching this. We want to give you that confidence, that skill, that ability, that control over your life, so you're not dependent on anyone.
Dope. Fire me up. This was a more business savvy one. I'm fired up to hear what you guys think. I'm going to give you guys some of my takeaways. So number one, I want you guys to be thinking about, for everybody that's a distributor on here, in whatever career sector you're in, you got to be thinking professional. You got to be thinking not hobby, but like serious about what you do. Like, I know people that are serious about watching sports. Like, they have the books, they got the schedule, they invest money, time, effort, everything. It's not really like a hobby as far as we think of hobbies. They're professional at it. There's some people that do it even so well that they make money from it. They buy tickets and resell them. They have blogs about it. Like, I want you guys to really be thinking about your Herbalife distributor business. If you're a distributor, if you're, whatever you're doing for your business in life, you should always have something you're building for yourself. So if you're working at a job and you're not an Herbalife distributor, whatever you're building on the side, you need to be thinking serious versus hobby. That's number one. The reason I say that is because you have these tools. Like, we went to school for 12 years as the basic, right? And then maybe you went to college, or maybe you went to some after that. You would wake up in the morning, go to school, they would give you books, and you would have a whole curriculum of stuff you got to read, listen to, and learn to get out for a piece of paper, to go get a job. And I feel like people don't make the connection when they come into network marketing that you still have to read, listen, and learn, but you're not going to get a piece of paper. You're going to get a lot of papers called paycheck for your learning and growth and doing. So I'm going to encourage you to bring all those things you learned how to do and everything you've done before into network marketing with the same seriousness. So what does that mean? You need to go learn and pursue knowledge, information, training, and upgrade yourself continuously. You're not just sitting in a class, in English class, where they're talking about Shakespeare. Like, he just gave you a lot of things that are specifically tailored to your career sector. I want you guys to look at yourself as, when people are pursuing a doctor, or people are pursuing a lawyer, or people are pursuing real estate, you're pursuing network marketing, business professional. That is your career sector. And just like any sector, there's people that earn a lot and there's people that don't earn a lot. You just need to decide which one you're going to be inside of your sector, because this is what you got to get clear. There's people in network marketing and Herbalife that make as much or more than doctors, lawyers, and all them. So if you're thinking that there's anything different from the career sectors, as far as income, there's really not. As far as time, effort that you have to do, there is, right? Because we can tap into royalties and continuous income. So be thinking about it. When somebody tells somebody that wants to be a six-figure income earner doctor that you need to go to college, then you need to go to 4 years of grad, then you need to do 4 years of internship, then you can start making, they're like, cool, I'm in. And then you got to get some books, get some online trainings, and go to seminar. You got to be thinking the same thing, I'm in. Because I really like what he talked about. He said, this is a learning period. And this, if you want to learn different skills, one of the biggest skills he started out with is when you recruit, the power of confidence. So you start in your circle of influence. This is where you always start. You got to attack your circle of influence, not because you're trying to get them, but because you're trying to share with them, and also you're trying to learn with them. So I really liked how you talked about, you want to gain the confidence in the circle of influence first, so that when you step out into cold market, you've built the confidence to not be shaking in your boots. This is what you got to practice with. You got to lean on some of those relationships of your mom, your aunt, your cousin, your coworker, and say, hey, can I practice with you? Can I do a wellness evaluation? Can I present the marketing plan inside of my company? I'm just trying to practice. How many of you guys have asked your friends and family, can I practice presenting the marketing plan to you? Hey, mom, dad, sister, brother, can you guys sit down? I want to do it for a group of people where I can see them and have them look at me and know what it feels to have 8 pairs of eyes on me as I draw and explain. I need to feel that. Have you tried that? You probably asked them to go to your high school basketball game. Where was the paycheck after that? Like, this is one thing I want you guys to get clear. I was a late bloomer. I didn't make the high school basketball team, So it motivated me later to get my game right. But my little brothers and sisters, all into sports, or my little brother, my sister's not in high enough grade yet, but they're all in sports. My dad's driving to Laguna Beach and shipping these kids up to San Francisco for all these leagues, and he's all about the games. I'm in my head saying, if you do all that for that, definitely make sure that if they do join the business, which they are, they better ask the same thing of all that investment for their business, because basketball or football or whatever sport hopefully gets you into college for a scholarship, right? But you got to remember that all this work, you always want an investment. The same thing inside of network marketing, but the investment is bigger. And the resource that comes back is way bigger. But we don't pull those things over. We'll ask 10 of our family to come support us at a basketball game, which is about putting a ball in a hoop. I love basketball. It's my first love. But at the end of the day, it's about putting a ball in a hoop. That's all it's about. There's no purpose to basketball. It teaches you good teamwork. Yes. It keeps you in shape. Absolutely. But there's no life purpose in basketball. If you're getting to a scholarship, that helps you learn. And if you get to a professional, that helps you earn. But why would you leave all those skills of how you just got 15 of your friends and family to a game to watch you put a ball in a hoop and not ask the same and use the same skills when you're when you are starting your own business? That's the difference, you guys. You got to pull all those things over, because this is serious. You're starting you're a business person now. And when you're doing that, you've got to build those skills, because you're not going to stay in warm market forever. Pretty soon your family and friends are going to know what you do, and they're going to come when they're ready. But you have to have that confidence that you built from the warm market when you go into the cold market, which is the people at the gym, the people who hit you up from social media, the people that stop you at the grocery store when you have your button or your branding on. Because if you don't do that work initially, you're going to stutter, you're going to stumble, and confidence is going to be why you don't succeed. And then you're going to say, well, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. No, you just didn't take the natural steps. Start in your circle of influence, ask for support, build confidence, go into your cold market. And this is the last thing I'm going to leave you out with that I really like, is he talked about scripts. So scripts for everybody are like things that you already have prepped to say. Like for yourself, this could be a great thing. If you feel like you fumble, practice with your warm market with scripts. Say, hey, Aunt Sherry, I'm going to have this piece of paper here because I'm kind of new. I want to just know what to respond to when you give me some questions and also what to keep. They're not going to trip on you. Aunt Sherry's not going to be like, you know what, never mind. I was going to start, but you got the scripts. And be like, cool, fine, I get it. Remember when anybody ever remember open book tests? If you were lucky enough to get an open book test, you were very fortunate. That means you could have your notes in front of you, which is ridiculous. So think of it like an open book test. You got your stuff right there because you need to be able to learn. So when you go there to earn, you're ready. And then also you want to be able to provide these scripts to your team as you teach and your clients even as they get asked. So really it's important because this cued something for me. I need to start providing people with scripts more. I need to be able to put my brain onto paper. That's what scripts are. So really be thinking about how you putting your brain on the paper because you may know how to talk. You may know how to respond because you've done this for a certain amount of time. But what about your newest team member that you're helping? What about your client that you know is going to get great results? And when they get asked, you can already provide them. Hey, I'm going to send you what to say when your friends and family start asking you about the results already. So they can pull out their phone and say, well, my coach said to say this. Okay, so it's very simple. It's just great nutrition. It's backed by research. And it's the #1 nutrition company in the world. It's really simple to start. You got somebody speaking for you. Instead of them saying, well, you know what? I don't know. My friends told me don't start. I started anyway, and they're not really cool with me now. But the shakes taste good. Don't want to have your person saying that because they'll say some wild stuff. So that was really big for me. Rox, what do you want to add?
I really love, just towards the end when he talked about taking control. You know, really, I feel like inside of this profession that we're in, which I believe, most people on here are distributors, the biggest thing is that, the only thing that we ever have control is our own personal work, our own personal work ethic, our own personal focus, just like the guy was talking about. In one day, he's like, I can recruit X amount of people, but it's all focused energy, you know? And for me, I feel like personally, that's one of the biggest things that we've been doing, that we've done for the past couple of years. But even now, you guys, the focus has been even more, you know? As far as our numbers are the highest they've ever been in personal volume and sponsoring in everything that we do. Yes, I'm gonna give you guys some vision. We're at 71 new members. 71 new members for the month, you guys. But it takes focus, it takes energy, and most of all, it takes not relying on anybody else or thinking that anybody else is gonna take you to the next level. Because people are gonna do what they do. They're gonna act at wherever level they are, depending on how hungry they are, how their work ethic is, and you can't control any of those things. But the only thing that you can control is your own work ethic, your own energy, your own focus, and your own production. And with that, if you just pretend that it's all up to you, front line, you will be successful because the only person that you can control is you.
Major nuggets. Fired up. All right, let's get a couple takeaways. Give me a thumbs up or a smile if you're excited to share some nuggets, some takeaways. I'm looking for some people. I'm about to call on some people. Chrissy, what do you got? Give us some nuggets.
I knew it.
Yeah. What do you got?
Actually, well, my takeaways is that very similar to yours. Learn, pursue knowledge, info, training. I feel like if you're constantly learning about the product and giving out that information and training on everything, you build that confidence. So for example, I know that even still now, I'm very afraid to talk to people sometimes because I have not tried every single product. So for me, that's where my confidence lacks. So now I know that I have to make it a point to get a couple more products in there so I can learn about them and actually say, like, I tried them, this is how I felt. I don't know if it's deviating a little bit from what that was, but also the circle of influence. I've yet to contact a few of my friends because they've already said something negative to me about the product that I don't even want to talk about it. So for me, it's kind of overcoming those obstacles in me, like Roxy was saying, like your own personal. So yeah, that's what I got from it. And frontline everything, Roxy, yes.
Love it, absolutely. And I totally understand where you're coming from. People saying negative comments. You know what I ended up doing just personally? Once we grew confident, because it takes time to grow confident, I reached out to them personally because I wanted them to have the opportunity more than I cared about how I looked. So I had a lot of friends that when I started didn't want to be friends with me anymore, blocked me on Facebook, Instagram, made comments. One of the person that made comments is now about to hit their first cut of Millionaire Team. Aubrey and Dula, for you guys that know, they were one of the first people to say, oh, here come the posts, and now they in Herbalife. So don't worry about the negative comments. But then I also had other people, and what I did later is I just reached out and directly told them what was possible. Like I have a friend who had all the jokes in the world, stopped talking to me, now is in the real estate. I don't know if he sold anything, but I see him posting it. I sent him a direct message. I was like, bro, I see you getting into entrepreneurship. I love it. I want you to know if you ever wanted to know how to do what we do, I could show you 500 extra, 1,500 every month. We can teach you, and I know you and your girl could do it. Let me know. He never responded, and that's all right. But what I wanted him to know is that I planted the seed. The tree can never grow if you don't plant it. It can never grow, and it'd be better to plant and not grow than never plant at all, because you can never have a garden. I had another friend did the same exact thing. He started his senior consultant. Now he's just PM. No problem. I planted. It might come back later. You know, some seeds take some time. But then you just go. That's why you got to build the confidence. It's easier to do it when you've gotten business and health results, because now when I go to them in my physical transformation, I look like I've never looked. Our business transformation, we've achieved what we never achieved. Now I can go and say with full confidence, this is what's possible. I can teach you. Let me know if you're ever interested. The problem comes when if I didn't change and there was no progress, then I'd look like a fool. And I don't like looking like a fool, which I'm sure you guys don't. That's why you got to work on your confidence. We've helped thousands of people. We've gotten business and physical results that took time and effort. Then with that, now the next thing I want you guys to understand is that now you have it. Now you've had it. If you made a certain amount, if you've gotten a certain result, you may be still in the mindset of who you think you were, but you're actually very different. And all you got to do to see how different you are is go look at your old circle and what they're still doing. They're probably still doing similar things. And you'll notice the bigger contrast because you haven't been doing it for a certain amount of time. And that shows you how much you've grown. And you don't highlight that to make them look bad. You just use that for confidence building in yourself, for how far you've come and your power and you sharing of what you really can do to help them. So I love that, Chrissy. Let's get another takeaway. My man with the red beard, what's up, bro? I don't know your name. It doesn't show a name. It just says iPhone. But come off and tell us your name and where you're from.
Hi, how you doing, man? My name is David. I'm from Houston, Texas.
You might have to, if somebody else there listening, they might have to take off their speaker.
There you go. I think they put it down. We had it on Bluetooth here.
There we go.
So once again, guys, how you doing? My name is David. I'm from Houston, Texas. First, I want to say thank you for this call. It's been helping me a lot. It's my second time logging in this call. So the takeaway that I got is actually what you spoke about the confidence to speak about anything. For the last, I guess, say year or 6 months or so, you know, I have been struggling to really share the business opportunity with everybody. And, you know, lately, I've been through personal development and can I just listen to audibles and everything like that. I feel a lot more confident now sharing the opportunity with a lot of the people around me and people that the same thing that I planted the seed from like a year ago. And I've seen a result like in the last month, man. Like I got new distributors coming into my business. You know, got a lot of people asking me, you know, what are you doing? I see you all this free time, you know, with your daughter, and you're doing whatever you want to do. I come from working in the industrial field, so I used to make really good money. But my time was always the issue with me, you know. So now that I'm actually sharing with people my lifestyle, some of my income and stuff like that, I have been getting a lot more attraction to my business. So that's pretty much what I got from the call.
Man, love it, bro. Shout out to Houston. Can't wait to come out there for Extravaganza. Shout out to being on the call live. I'm telling you guys, that's what it's about. It's about building that confidence over time. And really, for you guys that didn't have the confidence as you started, that's when the result comes later because you stayed through the unconfident times. That's what you got to write down in your book. You got to stay through the unconfident times to make it to the confident times. Because everybody starts unconfident. Even Mark Hughes, the founder, he didn't know what the products would do for sure because they were brand new. Like, you've got to stay through the unconfident times to get to the confident times. So let's get one more. Roxy has a takeaway.
And if I can add that something to that, you guys, even as you guys get started, you know, and as you're continuously building your confidence, know that you don't have to know every single thing, every single ingredient, you don't have to know any of that. What you do have to have is excitement and energy when you're talking about the products, when you're talking about the business opportunity. Because people don't really care about the facts. They don't really care about what's in this. They don't even care what's in the freaking things that get them overweight. So they just say that stuff, but why people will get started is based off of your energy and how you're saying, like, what it is that you're saying. Because if you're like, well, yeah, like, well, this is, no, like, this is like, girl, you're going to get amazing results. I'm down 10 pounds. Like, you just like speak it upon it and speak it to them, like with freaking life and fire inside of your voice. And when you do that, people want to get started because of that.
Absolutely, you guys. Just know you don't have to be a professional. You don't have to be an expert. You guys, people take posters from Coca-Cola and act on it. They see a person smile with a Coca-Cola and they're like, I'm getting some Coke today. You are that for healthy. Like, we don't have any like competition. We're not going against anybody, but what we are going against is all the things that hurt people's health and all the things that don't help people gain financial freedom. So you're the person that is combating that with, man, this is going to get you amazing results. It's going to have you feeling good, taste like ice cream. You don't got to know nothing else.
And the biggest comeback, you guys, and like this, I remember learning it at an event. No matter where you are in the business, whether you're new, whether you're older, when people say, oh, but I heard this, and that, blah, 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 I heard, be like, girl, I don't know about any of that. However, I just know that I'm down 10 pounds. I feel amazing. My clients are getting results. Like, my coaches have gotten amazing results. I'm inside of this group chat. Like, girl, I don't know about any of that. This is what I know. Because then you don't leave a moment of like trying to convince, if that makes sense. You're speaking upon what it is that you know, what you've achieved, and whether it's $50 or $100 that you've made. Like, when people want to say that the business opportunity doesn't work, like, girl, I don't know about that, but last month I made an extra $150 sharing like what I do. Like, people can't argue with that because it's facts. Yep.
Your results are your results and nobody can take them away from you. So let's get it, you guys. I'm going to take everybody off mute. Let's go. Happy birthday.
You can try.